All right, so we're gonna get this show started with guests, and we are delighted to have a friend of mine, and a friend of the program. Really, I did his show, Santa Barbara Baker, Jonathan Shirky. He's joining us, and he's huge on YouTube right now. Thousands and thousands of followers. It's a great account. He bakes pizza. He's got a great attitude. Also on Instagram under the same name, Santa Barbara Baker. So we wanted to have him on because I'm a friend of his and we love the pizza lifestyle, but also just, we're all in this together with the social media and the interacting with, people online. So, John, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you coming on. And how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Happy to be here. How are you guys?
Doing great. Thanks. So, I guess to kind of start off, we want to introduce you and, like I said, big into pizza. You've also bake a lot of things. So just like, what's your background to get people kind of to know you in the baking realm, in the pizza realm?
I mean, when it comes down to it, I'm a food guy. I love everything food. I've been obsessed with it for years. I'm not a professionally trained chef by any means, but I've just been so obsessed with it that I've learned techniques throughout the years. And, I just would spend my time. I made maps, so I was a GIS guy, and spend my time though thinking way too much about cooking and baking things. And eventually, though, I think pizza. How did I land there? I think it was I was always interested in pizza. Would make it kind of from here and there, but then feel like I finally cracked the code a bit on it at home and started producing some really good pies. And took a trip to Italy, and that just fired me up even more. I just came back and just been making pizza almost every day since.
That's pretty rad. I think pizza is like one of those things that everybody can get behind. You know what I mean? I don't think that there's anybody in the world who doesn't like pizza. If they are, they're probably a communist. What was it that made you decide to take your love of pizza and kind of share it with everybody on your social media pages and then on your YouTube channel?
Well, the Instagram started, it was actually, I got to give credit to my wife. She was the one that pushed me to do that. I've been starting to bake a lot at home, making pizza weekly and posting on my personal Instagram. She was like, you should make a separate one and just see what happens with it. Like maybe have a little side hustle of selling cookies or something in Santa Barbara. That's more of where it started. And so I just started posting up and seeing, if there's any interest in it, and it started growing from there. And I just kind of more zeroed in on pizza because I do like to eat cookies every day too, but pizza is a little more acceptable probably as and exactly what you're talking about. I mean, pizza is a thing. It's the world's greatest food. I think when it comes down to it, it's everywhere. Everybody loves it. It's in so many forms. That's what I think. If you don't like it, there's probably you just haven't had the right type.
Yeah, and I can test. I've had John's cookies too, and they're super bomb. Guy makes his own Nilla wafers for crying out loud. So this is where he's at. Yeah,
that's my son's favorite food, vanilla wafers. So that's pretty cool.
They're surprisingly easy to make.
Oh, okay, cool.
But only people that are like weirdos like that make stuff like that. You can just buy a box at the store for how much?
Right. It's like $2. It's crazy. So, one thing, John, is you and I met when we worked at the restaurant together, and we shared our love of pizza. I think that was the one thing. That's why you and I became such fast friends. And then you left, and I'm still there. But then you really went into this pizza thing. And what were your initial expectations when you decided to make this pizza YouTube channel and bring it onto the Instagram? What were the initial expectations?
Well, my initial idea with the Instagram was I kind of kept it more anonymous. My idea was let the food speak for itself. And also too, I was working in an office all the time, and I was paranoid that they would think I was just making pizza all day instead of working.
Right.
But I think it was basically when the pandemic started happening, I was hey, I'm making home. People were how do you make this stuff? And I just started posting some quick stories of what I'm doing. And there was a lot of interest in it, and that's what I was like, kind of just had this moment of like, oh, maybe it's a better idea to really like have yourself out there instead of having it be more of like an anonymous type thing. And I mean, I think now that I've done that, I think there's a big benefit to that, because I don't know how you guys are like getting out there of like accounts that you enjoy. I think it's most of the time there's like some sort of personality, I think, associated with it. And I think that really like helps to make your content into something else. There's somebody behind it versus, I mean, everybody, a lot of people there can take a beautiful picture of beautiful food. It's got to have something else. So I think like, when I started putting myself behind it a little more, it started to grow. And I thought the logical place to Instagram, you're just limited by the time on there. So the next stop was YouTube. And I mean, that's like the puzzle that I'm always trying to crack of how to grow that. I feel it's definitely is challenging. YouTube, there's just so much content on there. It's, it's difficult to make yourself rise to the top, but that's what I'm trying to do.
And you've obviously, grown both your accounts by so much ever since you started that. What's, how does that feel? Or, now you've become, semi, famous to some degree. I mean, a lot of people know you. We both follow a lot of pizza accounts and, whatever. How have you responded to that growth in your popularity?
I was pretty surprised and like grateful. It was like, I'm really pretty hard on my food, and I'm hard on myself in general. So it's like nice to get some positive. Mostly, I mean, I get all sorts of feedback, but the vast majority of it's positive, and it just has been cool to see people really take to it. And I mean, I really put myself into it, and it's, I think that's what, it's cool that people pick up on that I hope to put something out there that's like my own little vibe and style to it, and, still give reverence to the great pizza for what it is, but it's a lot of fun.
Oh, go ahead, Brandon.
I think for me, and just kind of watching your content, and I'm not really like a guy that seeks out like food, tutorials or stuff like that. But Greg sent myself and one of our other, as I like to call him, contributing correspondents, Ty McAfee, the video that you guys did together. And Ty and I both took the same, had the same feedback, which was, this guy is the hype man for like anything. If I'm ever doing a rap concert, if I'm like, you're my hype man. And I think that it is like, it's that sort of, like you said, putting yourself into it is you're so enthusiastic, and that comes across very well. And I think that lends itself to what you're trying to accomplish. And I think that just talking to you now, I can tell that it's not an act, it's genuine. That's who you are. So that's pretty cool. One of the questions that I had based on that video, and Greg was kind of explaining, kind of the ins and outs and what have you, is that you are an Uni ambassador.
Yeah, that's, I'm officially now an Uni ambassador.
So how does one become such a thing?
Making really delicious pizza is really what it comes down to, or really a beautiful pizza.
Okay.
That's what they like to see. And I mean, it's something that Uni reaches out to people that they like their content and ask them to be part of the program. So, I mean, something like that, how do people get into it? People I see is, they're using Uni products and in unique ways. And
they're not just making like Stouffer's French bread and shoving it in there, and that's more unique than a lot of stuff out there. So take it for what it's worth. I think that's the key thing. There's so much stuff that's like a lot of the same. I think now of having something that like if you come across it of like, what's this guy doing? How's he making this or whatever? And something interesting.
And you and I have talked so much about pizza, and I will just, before I get into my question, just say the pizza community that I've noticed through my like very amateur pizza making stuff, and it's so strong. And you and I have talked about like the crappy comments we get from people every once in a while, but like I would say, and you can disagree or agree, I feel like the support you get from pizza people is like one of the strongest communities you can be a part of. And what have you seen through doing this in the pizza community?
Yeah, I mean, I think people are surprisingly, or maybe it's not all that surprising. People are really open to share their knowledge. I think it's, I mean, people out there that are claiming a lot of secrets, I would say just move along, because most people are willing to share their information, and that's what I was. Even like famous pizza people. That's why I was surprised how accessible a lot of these people are, and how willing people are to share their knowledge. I think that's what's really cool. I mean, everybody can be positive that pizza looks great, but like, hey, have you thought about that? That's the kind of stuff that I find is really cool, when it's like, hey, I mean, I've never even thought of that, and that gets me really excited. I think people are willing to share. Overall, I think the pizza community is pretty open and excited.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And that just leads me to this. What is your favorite pizza to make at home? Like, what is that number one? If I'm gonna make something, this is it. I'm getting judged on one thing. What am I doing?
I mean, it's kind of a mark, right?
Yeah, exactly. It does.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't have to explain that to me, because I'm no clue. What is that the sauce on top thing, or?
It's just like it's a cheese pizza.
Cheese pizza.
But a pizza margarita, the classic would be tomato sauce, super simple, with fresh mozzarella and basil and olive oil. That's it.
Oh, okay. I can.
In its simple form.
Yeah.
And usually that would be cooked over, Neapolitan style, high heat type thing. But a basic cheese pizza can be called a margarita.
Oh.
If it includes basil, it seems like these days.
Fair enough.
I think though, Greg, of course, margarita, but I was just claiming recently pepperoni, I think, has to be the greatest pizza topping of all time, and that probably in second here. If there's like a pizza with toppings, I wouldn't consider a margarita as like a standard pizza. Like for a top pizza, I think just your simple pepperoni pizza is
I 100% agree.
Second there.
Yeah, those are the pizzas. Honestly, I don't really need much in my life more than that. If I'm making pizza, just those two, and I'm good. I'm set.
It's nice. It fulfills. It satisfies two different ends of the spectrum on that one. Of like the marg, I think if you're feeling the vibe of maybe something a little bit more like fancy, wood-fired vibes or something, and then the classic pepperoni pizza for when it's like, I just want a slice from the place down the street that has that classic flavors as a kid type thing. I crave that sort of thing. So that's what we typically debate around here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's why, like, I do the pizza reviews, and it's shockingly to anyone, I base it off of Dave Portnoy, who only does it off cheese pizza or margarita pizza. And that's the reason it's like, it's just that classic pie.
I'm always surprised if like that, you think like, oh man, you get bored of it somehow, or it would taste boring anyway. And I feel it's like mind blowing every time. I don't think I could.
Yeah.
There's something so simple. There's nothing really in it.
Yeah. There's just something about a pepperoni pizza. I agree with both of you guys completely. It's simple, but it hits the spot every time. It really does. What would you say for anybody, whether it's getting into the pizza reviews or any type of kind of like online influencer? I don't really like that term, influencer, but just like sharing their passion online through social media, through YouTube. What advice would you give to anybody who wanted to get started with that?
I mean, I think kind of echoing what I've said earlier about just putting yourself out there, of really putting not your true self up there, a little more vulnerable, type of thing, of like that you're not like everything doesn't have to be perfect. I think it is. Don't get caught up in the details on that. Like you're better off, I think, just really showing who you are, letting whatever your content is speak for itself, along with I mean your voice behind it. But you know, if you really believe in it, it should sell itself. People can feel that, I think, when it's genuine. I think that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is in just my life in general, I seek that out of, I really like genuine people and genuine things, you know, for whatever that means. But you know, but I think when you put that out there, people groove on it.
Definitely. And, you know, we'll wrap this up right now. John, really appreciate coming on. Real pleasure. I've known you now for, you know, 2 years plus, and it's been a pleasure. I'm really happy to come on. So this is the type where you hype up yourself and let everybody know how to reach you and, you know, watch you and catch up with you.
You can find me on Instagram. I'm Santa Barbara Baker on there. I'm on there posting stuff. I try and get things up there almost daily, but it doesn't always happen. The YouTube channel, that's where you can find my pizza videos where I go in depth on how to make pizza, everything from dough to all the techniques and all sorts of fun, different sort of toppings and different pizza. And the new stuff is I'm hoping to have more guests on the show. Greg was my first one. There'll be more in the works. You can find all my pizza dough recipes and recipes in general, santabarbarabaker.com. I have merch on there too. There's more on that on the way. And follow me on all the socials, the Santa Barbara Baker everywhere. I appreciate all the support for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks again, John.
Thanks for having me on the show. It's fun to it's great having you on, and it's great to check out what you guys are doing.
No, we appreciate it. We appreciate you coming on for sure.
It's fun to have somebody all the way from the East Coast too.
Yep.
A little different.
Yeah. Different vibe.
No, it's good. It's not just a bunch of like, you know, if we're gonna be on Zoom,
Yeah,
it should be far away.
right. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, but I do want to, you know, just for the East Coast people, really plug you because, you know, Greg put me on to you, and I started watching some of the different videos and following you on the Instagram and stuff like that, and everything you make looks amazing. I wish I could have a bite of it, but
Thank
you
you.
know, 3,000 miles. But you know, but thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Johnny.
All right, man. Take care.